Section 1 of Light and Peace. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Light and Peace. Instructions for Devout Souls to Dispel Their Doubts and Allay Their Fears. By Padre Quadrupani. Translator's Preface. These instructions for pious souls, now published in English under the title Light and Peace, were written in 1795 by the illustrious and saintly Barnabite, Padre Quadrupani. They contain a summary of spiritual guidance for earnest Christians in the ordinary duties of life in the world. The author had formed his own spirituality on the model presented by the life and teachings of St. Francis de Sales, and in this little book he reflects the wisdom, prudence, and sweetness of that gentleman saint. The work has passed through uncounted editions in its original Italian, and through a large number of editions in both the French and the German translations. An English translation was published many years ago, but besides its present rarity, its many imperfections warrant the belief that a new rendition will not be unwelcome. The translator has, moreover, been encouraged by the persuasion that the maxims of Father Quadrupani are specially adapted to the American character. Unlike many foreign religious works, whose spirituality often fails to touch the Anglo-Saxon temperament, this author's teaching is decidedly practical and practicable, and appeals in every way to the common sense and fits in with the busy, matter-of-fact life of the average American Catholic. The present translation has been made from the 20th French edition and has been collated with the 32nd edition of the original Italian published at Naples in 1818. The many recommendations from the Episcopacy of France prefixed to the French translation are here omitted, as the introduction by the Most Rev. Archbishop of Philadelphia is abundant testimony to the doctrinal solidity of the work. Overbrook, Pennsylvania. Introduction by the Most Rev. Patrick John Ryan, Archbishop of Philadelphia. God's attributes being infinite, and our intellects limited and also darkened by the fall, we see these attributes only in part, and as afar off and through a glass. In contemplating His awful sanctity, we are overwhelmed with fear and forget His ineffable mercy. Our views are also greatly influenced by our natural temperaments, whether joyous or sad, and change with our environments and moods. As the blue firmament is ever the same, so is the great God Himself, the King of ages, immortal and invisible, without change or shadow of vicissitude. But as the clouds that hang as veils of the sanctuary are movable and variegated, now dark and gloomy, and again brilliant in silver or gold, now opening into vistas of the firmament above, and again closing in darkness, except when arrows of light pierce them and show their outlines, so are we variable and inconstant, and need spiritual direction adapted to our peculiar wants. The naturally joyous, hopeful, and sometimes presumptuous need that wholesome fear of the Lord which is the beginning of wisdom. The constitutionally severe, scrupulous, and almost despairing need to remember God's tender paternal character, and to learn that His mercies are above all His works. To such souls this little book must prove invaluable. Its theology is sound, as the various episcopal approbations testify. Hence its statements can be entirely trusted. The fact that it has passed through 20 editions in French is sufficient evidence of its appreciation in that country. May it continue its holy mission of light and consolation and joy in this country, and
Sample complete. Ready to continue?